In Dragon Ball Z, there's an interesting episode where everybody's training for the arrival of the androids, and Vegeta's training under 300 times gravity in a spaceship, and Yamcha is actually watching him train, and he's kind of getting jealous that Vegeta can do that, and he's like, well, I can do anything Vegeta can do. So at night, Yamcha goes into the spaceship and he turns on 300 times gravity and literally almost dies. Fortunately, he's able to turn it off, but I think that made him realize that just because Vegeta can do 300 times gravity does not mean he can, and he shouldn't worry about it. So at the end of it, he says, you know what, it's time for me to get back to training. And that's what we have to do as well. So often, and it's so easy to do this, so I get it, but so often we get jealous of others, we get envious of others, we see others crushing it, at the gym, or, maybe even financially, or whatever the case. Others are training really hard, and it's really paying off for them, and we get a little jealous. We're like, well, if they can do that, I can do it too, or I can do even better. But this is usually not the case, because in order to get to that point, like Vegeta, to get to 300 times gravity, he started at 150, which is still incredibly high, right? But think about when Goku was training, when he was going to Planet Namek, he started at 20, right? Because at King Kai's, it was 10 times gravity. Then he went up to 20, then he went up to 30, 40, 50. That's the way to do it. So think about it. When you start lifting, you're not going to start with 500 pounds, right? You're probably going to start with just the bar to make sure your form's well. Or when you take cold showers, you're not going to start with 5 minutes in there, because you're probably going to freeze your ass off. You're going to start 20 seconds just to get used to it. And then you build up time, or you build up tolerance over time. That's the thing. Or like when you're lifting weights, you build strength over time. Like think about like push-ups too, like a more basic example. You don't start by doing 50 push-ups. You start by doing 10. Maybe even start by doing 10 on your knees, right? But this builds strength. So this is what we all need to realize, and this is the takeaway from that episode. We need to stop giving a damn what other people are doing. We need to stop getting jealous. We need to stop thinking if they can do it, I can do it better. This is just faulty thinking. This is ego. This is going to set us up to hurt ourselves. Maybe even kill ourselves if we try to do too much, like Yamcha with the 300 times gravity. I mean, realistically, he should have been dead. I mean, realistically, anybody would probably be dead under those circumstances. But you get what I'm saying. If you start by trying to lift 500 pounds and you've never lifted before, the bar's just going to crush you, right? Or if you start by trying to take a 5-minute cold shower, you're going to freeze your ass off, and you might get like hypothermia or whatever it's called. So start small and start with what you can handle. There is no shame in it. As long as you're trying, that is better than the vast majority of us who are just sitting around being lazy, doing nothing. Remember that. Don't get jealous of others. Just focus on your training and you will get better. Don't focus on what others are doing, because you don't know their story. You don't know what they started with. You don't know how long they've been doing it. You don't know anything. So don't assume crap. Just focus on you. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. What's your ideology when it comes to training, whether it's physically or maybe, starting a business or anything like that? Let me know down below in the comments. Do you think it's ever good to actually pay attention to what others are doing and kind of base yourself off that? Let me know that down below in the comments as well, and we can talk about it. Alright guys, but until the next video, stay tough and keep going.